You think this is a normal conversation, but invisible hands are quietly shaping your next decision. Manipulation rarely appears aggressive. It often feels calm, polite, logical, and surprisingly reasonable at first glance. The first tactic hides inside kindness, quietly turning generosity into subtle psychological leverage over your daily choices. It sounds supportive, yet underneath, the message quietly implies you owe something valuable in return. Notice how guilt appears after help, reframing kindness as a silent debt you must repay. The second tactic is urgency pressure, shrinking your thinking space until reaction replaces careful reflection. Phrases like "last chance" or "decide today" compress time and distort your rational long-term perspective. When urgency spikes, your brain shifts from calm analysis mode into fast emotional survival decisions. The third tactic is selective truth, presenting facts while hiding the detail that changes everything. Everything they say is technically true, yet the full picture remains deliberately incomplete and misleading. Notice when your honest questions receive partial answers and curiosity gets reframed as unnecessary distrust. When the frame narrows, you begin doubting yourself instead of calmly evaluating the missing information. The fourth tactic is love bombing, overwhelming you with excessive praise, attention, and sudden intense emotional closeness. At first, it feels flattering, powerful, even magical, like you finally feel completely and deeply understood. Then the warmth suddenly fades when you calmly set a boundary or question something small. That hot and cold cycle slowly trains your brain to chase unpredictable emotional approval rewards. The fifth tactic is the silent treatment, withdrawing communication until anxiety begins growing inside you. No shouting, no explanation, just silence that slowly pressures you to repair everything completely alone. Eventually, anxiety convinces you that you must apologize first, even when you did nothing wrong. Withdrawal becomes a subtle control tool, teaching you that connection depends entirely on your compliance. The first defense is awareness. Clearly naming the tactic immediately reduces its hidden psychological power. The second defense is slowing down, intentionally creating calm space between pressure and your response. Ask one calm, clarifying question and watch how the entire power dynamic instantly begins shifting. Manipulation gradually loses strength when you consistently refuse to rush, react, or emotionally overcompensate impulsively. The real goal is not winning arguments, but protecting your clarity and independent thinking. Once you clearly see the pattern, invisible pressure becomes visible, predictable, and easier to resist. Awareness ultimately gives you something manipulation cannot control: conscious, deliberate choice over automatic emotional reaction. If this helped you see clearer patterns, continue learning and strengthening your psychological awareness consistently.